Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another Raven's Ramble. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new big testing grounds that is going on, and the thing that everyone is excited about, everyone's raging about, just the thing in general that everyone is talking about, because I need to give my opinion on this because there is a lot going on with this, and yeah, it's a very big thing for the game. So up first, the testing grounds, they're going from the 27th of February until the 12th of March, so there is a fair bit of time to get this thing going, pump it out. I can't really play the testing grounds that much because I simply don't have the time. For those of you who've watched my video, you know why I don't have the time, but we're going to be going over the opinions of a bunch of people soon, because this is rather divisive. I've seen a lot of people, once again, either complaining about this, either saying that it's the best thing since sliced bread, and it's just all over the goddamn shop. But first of all, let's go over it and see what they want to do with this testing grounds. Now, it's a massive one. They want to improve their offense, and they say we want to make the game towards more read-based defense instead of reaction-based defense. Now, that on the face of it is a good thing, being able to read your opponent and go, this guy right here is going to throw out a, say, light attack, so I'm going to try and parry this thing. That's better than, holy shit, I'm just getting showered with light attacks. Read-based is better. Mind games are a better gameplay than just getting spammed with stuff. They say the skills required for defense shifted from reactive to predictive, since your defense against some of the faster attacks, 400 ms and faster, used to react, will now need to be anticipated. So we all know that light spam is a cancer on the game, and it is a thing that's still in the game, regardless on what some of the other YouTubers who are pros want to say, regardless of what the pros themselves want to say. Light spam is still a fucking issue. I streamed recently, came up against the Orochi, wasn't a fucking fun time for me. Especially if you're on consoles, it's a fun time. These guys want to bury their fucking heads in the sand, and I was going to try and do this video without swearing. Already swore. God damn it. Anyway, they want to try and bury their heads in the sand. It's not going to happen. It's not going away. Light attack, light spam is a problem. And until they address that, it's going to be a problem. But they say we want you to attack more often and mix up your attacks more. So we've made changes to the damage, stamina penalties, and attack recoveries to help in this regard. Now, this is going to be something that a lot of people are talking about, and we're going to go over that a little bit later. But, you know, changing damages, that's fair enough. Stamina penalties, that's also fair enough. And attack recoveries, that's all fair enough. But it all comes down to how much you do in what direction. They say they're improving consistency. They want to basically put in a bunch of new technology, help with the attack animations, indicators to be more consistent. This is a very, very big thing and important in a fighting game, that you know what the hell is going on. And it says, which makes all attacks act as if they were delayed. They say this technology reduces the dexterity, I can't say dexterity today, requirement for all players, while also helping to reduce flickers, and enables us to make zone attack inputs more comfortable. Now, I struggle with zone attacks greatly, having to do them, so being able to, you know, get those off more often, easier, without fucking accidentally throwing out a heavy, that's going to be great. But let's go to the testing grounds patch notes, because these are the big things that they want to hit on. First is visible attack speed. Now, all attacks now hide the first 100 ms of their animations and indicators to opponents. Previously on the live version, they would be hidden for a variable amount of time. Now, this is something that I've been saying for the longest fucking time, that there's certain things in the game that they need to standardize across the board. And it's good to see that they're starting to get it into their head, and they're starting to go, okay, we need to standardize certain things so that way the game runs smoothly and everyone knows this is a quantifiable thing. Okay, so you know now that everything's going to be delayed or hidden by 100 ms. Instead of 120 here, 133 there, 100 there, so on and so forth. Next thing is feint believabilities. Now, feints, soft feints, and cancels should be more believable, as they also follow the changes to the visible attack speed. That's going to be a good one, because right now, feints, you can sort of just see them coming a mile away, and they don't work as well. And of course, because you only have a short window at the startup of an attack to feint, it doesn't really work that well. So it's good that they're going to be putting this in, and it's basically a knock-on effect of the visible attack speed. Stamina consumption. Stamina penalties on miss, block, and parries are removed. Thank fuck. Thank God. This was just overall annoying. Thank God they removed this. Next are the damage reduction. Now, damage for attacks has been generally lowered. Some attacks and heroes have been adjusted more than others to give us more consistent values across the cast. Now this is a big sticking point, this one right here. So the fact that it's been genuinely lowered means that fights are going to go longer because everyone's doing less damage. Now, that's a no-brainer. No, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. Now, the fact that they haven't lowered it equally across the board is a little weird because it's now going to come to the situation where certain heroes are just going to just rise right to the fucking top and they're going to be absolute cancer compared to other heroes who now you can get all these attacks off, but because all your damage has been lowered, it's going to take a lot longer for you to kill someone even when you're doing really well, and that's going to piss off a lot of people, and it did piss off a lot of people. We'll talk about that later on in the video. But next is attack recoveries. So all light attacks and heavy finisher attacks have their recoveries on hit, normal block, and interrupt block normalized to 700 ms. Once again, normalizing, that is good. The more they do that, the better when it comes to certain things. Specific attack nerfs: Orochi's top light opener and zone attack, Shaolin's top light opener, and Lawbringer's top light opener were slowed down to 500 ms. Additionally, Orochi and Nuxia's chain light attacks are now easier to dodge when they follow a light attack. With the changes to attacks, we believe these nerfs are necessary to reduce the frustration associated with them. Now, that is true because it sucks just getting fucking poke 24/7 when you're versing a Lawbringer, and you know you could, yeah, sure, you can put your guard up there, but then he's going to open up to all the other shit, and then in a second you turn your guard somewhere else, poke in the face, and it's really freaking annoying. But it's good to see that they sort of did a overall, these bunch of characters that have all these same annoying little traits have all been normalized down to 500 ms. That is really cool. Zone attack input comfort: with the changes we've made to visible attack speed, we're now able to make zone attacks easy to perform. That's pretty cool. And then custom matches, cool. So that's overall, it's good what they're doing. They're putting out a massive patch, and it's got a lot in it, and they're going after a bunch of the fight stuff. So of course you would think this is nothing but woo, a fucking plus. It's all going to be good. What I'm going to do is we're going to go look at some people's opinions on this, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. So we're over here on the Reddit, and now I want to say, before we go down and read these comments, there's going to be a bunch of people who say, oh, these are just random players and they're just bitching about whatever, so what is the point of even listening to them? Because once again, they are players. Just like everyone, every player deserves to be heard because they're playing the game. If they stop playing the game, that's bad for everyone, so we want to try and make as many people as possible happy. Go with the majority over the minority, because the majority keeps a game afloat. I've said this a million times, and that's a genuine fact. There is people like to try and like dispute and say no this, no that. No, the fact is, the more people you have doing something, the better, especially when it comes to a game that's in the market, because that means more money. But with that said, let's have a look-see. So you have this guy here, Wakito. He's played more than 1,200 hours, and this is probably the worst testing ground you've ever made. The damage values are stupid. Seriously, 14 damage for a Conk top heavy, and 12 for his light, but 50 damages for Yorm or Shaman. How can you say that this patch will help make the game more offensive when some characters will lose half their offensive kit? The stamina changes are also not adapted. Why would I take the risk to parry an attack if the opponent just takes 14 damage? No stamina reduction. The indicator change is the only thing okay, because even if some people are pissed about it, it's the only thing that don't really change the gameplay. The players just have to learn to play with animations instead of red arrows. So, he's not too happy about this, right? Let's go to the next guy. Wow, they somehow made Nuxia fucking worse. But every other assassin got above. Shaman and her bleed and bite are fucking cancer. Orochi has unchanged lights and Riptide Strike. Glad is the Zone King, and Zerka has the hyper armor. Meanwhile, Nuxia just gets shit on even more. Her traps have never been worked properly, i.e. catching parries 100% of the time, and somehow easier to avoid. Her reach is stupid small, while her dodge attacks and free parries. Why would anyone play this tune over the others is beyond me. And then some guy replied, Nuxia is actually better since no one can react to her traps anymore. Pretty decent ganking 4v4, and she has pretty good light chains. I don't know about that one, Chief. So, a little bit of dissent there, but it's a recurring theme that I've been seeing with this, is that a lot of people are not too happy about these changes. You got this guy right here, played 1,500 hours on PC, new to posting Reddit feedback, love all the changes other than the values that feel out of place, arguably bugged or unchanged. Now, he says it's arguably bugged or unchanged, but there's no doubt that they've probably done it on purpose to test. That's the whole point of a testing ground, is to test stuff. So it's not like that they would have bugged it or unchanged it. They're doing it to test. But hope these changes, or very close to these changes, make it into the full game. Great work, team. My stack of friends have only been playing testing grounds since it was updated in. Now, that is a sentiment that I've seen echoed a lot from a small amount of players so far, mainly a bunch of people in the top end. They're saying that the testing ground, they're going from the testing ground to the live is like, you know, day and night. It's like they don't want to go back and play the live game because the testing ground has all these things that they love and adore and they want. And this is where I get a little bit confused, because you have so many people who are really pissed off, and then you have so many people who are really, really happy. Now, it's very conflicting, but let's continue on. Yeah, this guy, he says, as someone with over 130 games played, I can confidently ask, what the hell were the devs smoking? I can summarize how good every character is. Thank God Ubisoft made this into the testing grounds before putting it into the live game. For everyone saying the light spam in TG isn't that bad and takes some getting used to, you probably only play 10 matches. You never go for a parry anymore unless it's unblockable. It's almost impossible to parry lights. Every fight is slower than a turtle crossing the road unless it's a gank due to everybody but assassins getting a damage nerf. So let me summarize the experience for every character. This should be fun. Warden, shoulder charge spam, PK the spam, light, Centurion, kite, beep, kite, Black Prior, abuse bulwark, and light spam, Lawbringer, good if can parry, conk. I love how he spelled conk like that. Garbage. Poor Conqueror. Everyone say Conqueror is garbage. Literally impossible to kill someone unless it's a gank. Glad light spam, Raider, fancy light spam. Berserker, fancy light spam. Highlander, meh. Yorm, annoying as ever. Warlord, light spam. Valkyrie, light spam. Shaman, broken as fuck in TG, testing grounds. Kensei, light spam. Orochi, light spam in capital. Shinobi, cunt that only fights from range. The Bushi, light spam. And abuse bleeds. Shigoki, good. Hey, it's finally a positive. Aramusha, meh. Hitakiri, good. Tiandi, light spam. Jiangjung, good. Nuxia, light spam. Shaolin, meh. Zan Yu, meh. Do you see the problem? Regarding the stamina changes, it doesn't change the game that much. The recovery times, on the other hand, the recovery time speed is more idiotic than a fucking donkey trying to climb a dam. Whether you agree with this guy or not, he's a fucking classic. And yes, these critiques are coming from a console player. Donkey trying to climb a dam. And then, of course, you get the 130 games played. Wow, this is how you know the first person is skilled. Yeah, sarcasm, that sort of stuff. All right, next guy. For everyone saying these changes are only bad for console players, let me tell you, it's cancer on PC too. Every now and then, you may be able to parry someone who's light spamming, but more often than not, you are not just going to eat the light. If you try and feint a heavy, you will eat a light. If you throw a heavy, you will eat a light, a heavy feint. Then try to parry the light. If you couldn't parry 400 MS attacks before, you still can't now. Everyone either light spams or you just run into the people who can parry 400 MS attacks on reaction, meaning you already lost. You can't stop their attacks, but you throw anything and you will be parried. Yes, welcome to consoles, my friend. That one is so true. That one is so true. So there's just so many people who you just go into it and it's just like they just parry everything on reaction and you just go, there's nothing I can do against this guy. I'm just dead regardless. So that is true. And once again, light spam. We got light spam. Next guy. Nope, never again. I'm never putting myself through that sluggish bullshit ever again. No recovery time. Attacks feel pointless even though I land them all, and light spam is real. I'm not a fucking mind reader, so I don't want to deal with having to predict everyone's actions other than my own. Stamina stuff can stay. So there's always that one little positive. The stamina stuff everyone seems to like, okay? And then you have the changes to everyone. It's a problem. The problem with super fast lights in testing grounds is everyone, even if you predict a light attack is coming, you still have to react to the direction it's coming from. You can't make a read when a character's lights acts the exact same in all directions. This is also a problem in the live game, but it really shines in the test. This is why Bulwark stance is so good, because you don't have to try and look for patterns where there's generally are none light attack directions. It's a stretch, but all characters should have some sort of light counter, parry stance mechanics so that you're not just guessing to which direction it will come from. This isn't a problem for heavies or heavy feints because they are slow enough that you can react to which direction they are, still have to read the feint or not. I think that's enough. There is more and more and more, and people aren't enjoying it, especially if you're a console player. Like, as a console player, you have to be smoking crack to speed up attacks when light spam is already a problem. So it's just, you just go through and what the fuck did they do to the Highlander? He has no openers at all. They hardly change his stamina cost at all. He does 29 damage on side heavies. Berserker does 28 on side heavies. That is a load of shit. Sorry, just from a weapon standpoint, like, goddamn. Berserker even trades better than Highlander now. He needs a huge change if this patch goes through. He already wasn't in a good position, but now he is garbage. So by reading the comments, lights need to be slowed down like 50 ms on consoles compared to PC. I'm a PC player, enjoy changes. I understand that parrying or blocking is harder at 30 FPS. And then you have the guy, 30 FPS is the problem. Okay, yeah, it's been said 1,000 times, the issue is input lag. 30 FPS is a fucking problem. Alright, those people shit me. He's probably a Freeze fanboy. Alright, anyway, so the takeaway from all this, in my opinion, so essentially what's happened is light spam is a problem, but the pros, which I've been saying for the longest time, don't have an issue with light spam. So light spam is not a problem to them, which means that they love these changes. To them, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and they can't fathom going back from, you know, playing the testing grounds to going back to the live game. They just want to stay and play the testing grounds 24/7 because the testing grounds is catered towards, once again, the pros. It's not catered towards everyone else. If you're playing on console, if you're a casual player, if you're a player who's decent at the game but you're not a pro, this is not tailored towards you. It's not tailored towards me. It's not tailored towards anyone else but the pros at this point in time. They're trying to make because they get the input from the pros mainly. They get these guys, these other big YouTubers, they get the pros and they go, tell us what we need to do, and then they go, okay, yep, that makes sense, and they build the game around a small minority of people. And it's clear from this thread that a lot of people are not happy about it. They're not enjoying it, and yes, you do have some people who are liking it, but then again, those guys once again are most likely pros, or they're really, really good at the game that they can do these things on command, like parry 400 ms lights, and it's no problem to them. And then you have shit like this with an Orochi. Okay, so this is a thing on testing grounds. As an Orochi, I can throw 3 unreactable lights, light spam, which the pros deny is even a thing. It is a thing. Cancel my recovery into Storm Rush for another 400 ms attack that chains into 3 more unreactable lights. Cancel recovery back into Storm Rush and do it again. I can do this 3 times before getting close to out of stamina. That's not good for anybody. That isn't a bad thing whatsoever. Are you afraid to hurt your opponent? See what I mean? Like, what? It is a bad thing because it's bad for the game. And you say, compare that to the live game where Orochi can't even get his second light unless he dodges an attack, and his Storm Rush can and still is interruptible and easily countered. Oh no, we can press buttons now. How am I supposed to have a staring contest now? So even with that, people are still trying to argue it, that it's not so bad, that this guy can fucking just shred people like it's no tomorrow. My opinion is that these changes are all good for the game in terms of what they're trying to do. They're trying to actually fix the game and get the game into a stable state. They're trying to get the game to a point where the fight systems are working well and everyone has a chance to throw out attacks, actually do some damage and so on and so forth, and have a fucking fight, which I'm all for. And I know some people are gonna say that I'm being, oh Raven, why are you being so negative? Stop being negative all the time, da 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 da. But it's not being negative. The difference is that it's coming from a different point of view. Now, this point of view that I'm slowly coming towards is that this game, it's not made for me anymore. It's not made for people like me anymore. It's not made for console players. It's not made for casuals anymore. It's not made for anyone who isn't a pro. And that's because they're catering to a small minority of people. And everyone else like me It's either, you know, just go fuck yourself, essentially. It's not even get good or get lost. It's just go fuck yourself, because I don't have the time to, you know, sit there and just train and play and play and play. I don't do this for a full-time thing. I don't do this for a living. I don't have fucking spare time to sit there and play this game 24/7 to get really, really, really good at it. I was really good at it at one point. I was Grandmaster, for Christ's sake. But that's when I was playing all the goddamn time, and that was a different time. Now, I'm not saying they should cater the game towards me, because I don't believe in catering the game towards one small group of people or one individual person. I believe in catering the game to the most players, the majority of players, because once again, that makes the majority of people happy, and the majority of people being happy is better than a small group of people being happy. No matter which way you want to slice it, people are selfish. Of course, they're going to sit there and be like, no, you have to make the game for me. I want the game to be the best thing in the world for me. No, that's not how it works. You have to do it for everyone, and that's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from this game is shit, all these changes are trash. No, I like the fact that they're trying to actually change the game. I like the fact that they're working on the fight systems. I like the fact that they're looking at all this stuff and they're going, okay, these are old problems, we need to try and fix them. All that, to me, is Gucci, and I like that the developers are trying here. But the problem to me is not the fact that they're trying, it's who they're trying for. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below. I try to get to as many as possible, but there's so many of you, so it gets a little hard lately. In the description box down below, you can find my social medias and my merch page. Feel free to check it out. You can pick up some Reavyne Gaming merchandise if you feel so inclined. And with that said, I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.